Doug, yeah, he was just born to be that was his destiny. It was our destiny. It's so interesting when you reflect on stuff and you go, it was destiny for Paige and I to work together, for me to write with Richie Blackmore, to write with Tommy Bolin, and to have John and Ian accompany me on the early parts of Whitesnake, to help build it, all the foundation stones, all to make this huge, the Temple of the Snake. But Forevermore is a love song to Cindy, my wife. We're like 31 years, probably by the time this comes out, we'll be knocking on 32's door. And it really sums up my love for her. And Doug plays it beautifully, and his solo is one of the most epic. Brian Tishy on drums. Timothy Drury, I think, was out of the band at that time, the keyboard player, but he came in to do the session. And he was Tim was the first one to hear these Forevermore songs, and he was going, oh my God, these songs are amazing, you know. So that was great validation for that, and we made it much more of a band album. We brought Doug and I would build up Pro Tools demos of these songs, which was a total new way for me to work. And then we would bring in the players, but for Good to Be Bad, but Forevermore, I said, I want much more of a band feel because there's such a great band. So we brought them into Lake Tahoe and just had a great time, And I still at that time wasn't aware of how amazing Red Beach's voice and mine blended. It was really cool, and we've exploited it since. But it's one of my favorite songs that I've ever been involved with. Fascinatingly, when we discussed the idea of the farewell tour, the original schedule was going to be the Good to Be Bad box set. But the circumstance, I said, I don't want to go out with a box set for my farewell tour, And then I said to Mikey, what do you think? I'll talk to Rhino. Let's revamp the 1994 greatest hits. Revamp it and add something. And we've just released a very successful Red, White and Blues trilogy. So, what Forevermore was featured on there. They're almost like best-ofs anyway, but this has other stuff. This is a redo of 1994's greatest hits and more. This is like all-you-can-eat buffet. And once again, we got Tom to look at all the string aspects. Tim was a great, sensitive keyboard player, Timothy Drury. And once again, we've placed these strings in a much more orchestral way. So and it gives the band and Doug's solo more room to breathe. And it's really come out beautifully. And I just felt it was appropriate to have something more recent on the record. And Forevermore was an immediate Whitesnake classic when we got out there. Audience took to it immediately, like they've known it for 30 years. It was amazing. So it's an appropriate way to send this message of love to the fans who've supported us all this time. And it's going to be an extraordinarily emotional tour, for sure.